Welcome back to Livie'S Lovelies, your inspirational craft channel, and I'm your host, Fam the Fabulous. For more ideas, inspiration, swaps, and challenges, click the link in the description below to join our craft community, The Maker Exchange, on Facebook. Welcome back, all my artists, creatives, crafters, and makers. Welcome back to the Lovely Lab. All right, so this is day 2 of working on the Sista Friend journal. Last I showed you, I think that I was showing you the dolls that would be gracing the cover. I also have in previous video, Happy Mail from Sonia, showed you the items that she sent me, which are going to go into the journal. And so I'm not going to go through all of that again. You guys can look at that. But in the upcoming videos, I'm going to be using these napkins on the pages, on some of the pages. And I think this, because this is so sturdy, such a great, I'm going to use that to help make the pockets. So I'm just walking you through my thoughts and showing you what I plan to do, and then I'm going to show you, I'll show you what I did to get to, okay, let me back it up. So originally I said that I was going to use one cereal box, right? So I found this, and this, well, I said I found it, but, you know, obviously it came out of our pantry, but this actually is approximately, what is it, 9.5 by 6. So I'm going to keep the 6 inches. It's 9.5. I think I'm going to take it down to 9.25. Okay, that quarter is not going to make or break it, but I'm going to show you why I want to take 1/4 of an inch off of it, because if I, well, more like 1/8 of an inch, you know, I'll have to see, because once I get finished opening it up, you know, let me do that now. The rambling and the thought process, that this is one of the reasons why I don't make multiple signature journals, is because this is not one of those things where you just do it, you always wake up one morning and you do it and it's done. You got to put a little thought into it. And so okay, you know, there's days where I don't have all of that thinking capabilities, but once I get finished cutting off at the folds here, I probably will be at the size that I wanted. So I'm not going to cut anything off just yet. I'm just going to cut the ends off of the cover. Okay, and I'm going to try and use the same, I'm going to use Sonia's, I think it's a spring journal or gratitude journal, as the cover that she made for. I'm going to try and use that process as something like a tutorial to create a fabric covered cover. Fabric covered cover. Okay, so anyway, so this is what I will be using. I'm so glad that I found that. So again, this is from Walmart, 3-pound box of macaroni. I got another box too, so I'll probably end up making another journal and putting it in the Etsy shop. Okay, so this is one of the signatures. Okay, and I think that this is, well, this is what she sent. She sent this. So I'm thinking that this may very well be part of the cover. And these ladies, we'll go something like this here. You know what I mean? I got to stagger them just a little bit to make both of them fit with their curvy little selves. So I'm putting that there. Let me put both of these back here in this pocket so they don't slide out as I'm, you know, running my mouth and all those other things. All right, so we have them. I've just put a few things, odds and ends, in this folder that I think that I'm going to use. I may or may not, but they are all items aside from that doily. The things that I'm putting in here are things that I have received from either Felicia, the one who made the first one, and or Sonia. And then I pulled, I'm going to add these in here. These came from Felicia. They came as freebies, little, from an order that I purchased from her shop. I pulled these ladies because they were misprints, but I think I'm going to fussy cut them out and drop them somewhere in here. in this because they're sister friends. You know, they're lovely ladies. This came from Felicia in one of the Happy Meals that I received. This actually came from another friend that I miss dearly, dearly, from Liz for a Day. So this is one of Liz's digitals, and this is from a digital that I created. I only pulled this, not that I love it so much, but I pulled it because I wanted to make sure that I put a note in my journal that I'm thankful for the friends that have contributed to my craft life. And this came from a Happy Meal that I received from a friend in Barbados, and this came from another friend. So yeah. So anyways, so these are some of the items that'll go in there. Let me just put these in this folder, and oh gosh, all right, and move this off to the side. All right, so the pages that I'm using, let me just show you one of the partially put together signatures. So as you saw in the coffee dyed papers, one moment guys. Okay, so getting back to this. So this is one of the two signatures that I've already put together. It's partially put together because well, let me just show you what I got. You saw in the previous video, one of the previous videos up there, where I coffee spritzed and ironed the pages for this journal. So that's one of the pages. This is one of Sonia's printables, one of her digitals that I purchased off of her from her Etsy shop. And in the back of it is just my coffee dyed printable from my Etsy shop. And I'm gonna drop a link below to her digital so you'll have access to that. This is one of the pages that she sent me. This is one of the coffee dyed pages, just ledger paper, and it's gonna be a flip out, you know, more journaling space. And I plan to, on this side, napkin, decoupage this side, use this side, decoupage that side. Yeah, but I might have to do some inking. I wonder if I should ink first. I'll have to think about that. If you know if I should ink first and then decoupage after, drop that in the comments. Or should I decoupage and then ink after? I wonder if the ink would have an effect on, you know what I was just thinking? Okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. But I wonder, let's just do a little test here. I have the Tim Holtz Distressed Collage medium, and I'm just wondering, just do a little piece. We're gonna do a little piece just to see what it's looking like. Okay, this is just a random paintbrush, but let me just see if this would be, because this is for collage. It's for collaging, but let me just see. I could have used a different brush. I really could have used a different brush. Gosh, oh yeah, that's right. It does have some lint in there. This one might work just because it adds color to it. So I might use this to collage with, just depending on whether or not it's gonna darken the napkin too much. We shall see. So yeah, because look at that. It ain't bad. We'll see. All right, and this came from my devotional. It's another coffee spritz page. This is another one of Sonia's. Now I tear the edges off because when you print, you usually have a white border. And then when I went to go, I was doing it quickly, so I tore this one, but it tore the half of that little piece of paper. I don't mind it. And then this is coffee spritz graph paper, and I love the way that color came out. Actually, let me put this on this side. I love the way that the color bled on here. It just gives it a little bit more, you know, a little bit of character, kind of like me, just dramatic for no reason. All right, so I'm going to go ahead, and while you're sitting there, go forth and do the last signature. So in the order that this is in, so this one is up, that one's down, this one's up. So that, I'm keeping these tattered edges because I like it. You don't have to do the same, but You know, that's totally up to you. Now what I need to do is I'm going to go ahead and take these pages out and go forth and get the edges off. And I just use a ruler. It's just easier that way. And then I also keep the scraps from the tall pages that I fold in half. You'll see. So I'm just going to go and take the edges of this off. This is not the interesting part. Actually, not much of this is going to be like the overly exciting part until you get down to creating elements for the journal. But I figure if you're coming along on the ride, you might as well come along on the boring parts too, right? Dragging y'all along on the boring parts, because that's what friends do. We're not just fair weather friends. We hang in there during the boring and tough times too, right? I'm not sure that I would consider crafting a tough time, but whatever, you know. Somebody might be crafting under duress, I should say. It wouldn't be me, but I take that back. I have basically been given an ultimatum like, you create my bracelet or else. I need a birthday gift, and you are going to be the one to make it, or else. Okay, so I'm just tearing off the edges. You don't need the ruler. The ruler just helps keep the straight lines if that's what you're gunning for. You know, if you want a straight edge, then this is how you do it. Otherwise, you can always go like so, and it gives you a different effect, which I don't mind either. I've done it, especially if the pages in between, you know, the paper itself is not all that interesting, and it's not in a place in your book, your journal, that you can add lace or something to the edge. So you kind of would have to. So this will be a page where, oh, perfect. Now this is a misprint. I had to realign and clean my printer heads and everything, but if you have asked me, ain't nothing wrong with that. All right, so in here we have this one. Then we have a page that is halfway turned. Okay, and this is going to be this one. That torn edge is going to be just perfect. Actually, let me do this one like this. Okay, and then we have, oh my gosh, I've got 3 meetings today. 2 phone meetings, 1 Zoom meeting, and real estate photos to do. So, but I'm turning the camera on because guess what? I got to get this journal started, and I told y'all that I would. So this is me trying to do my very best to keep my word. So this is 4.5. Let me make sure that I create this one because I like the smaller flip out. I like the full page flip out that I did for the other one. So I'm going to do the same with this. Did I say 4.5, guys? I think I did. That's close enough, I think. Yeah. I'm just going to line the edge up down here. And take this side, turn it on in, and line the bottom part up. Okay. That's torn a little bit, but you know what? You know how we do with laces and washi tapes. You'll never know that piece is torn. So creative. All right. Okay, so we have that. This one's going to flip out to that side because the other one flips out to this side, or I'll probably adjust it somewhere later down the line. So the next page is this one. Now, because this is a half a page, my best bet is to rip the bottom portion off because I can always decorate the top. You know what I mean? Yeah, I can decorate the top in the journal and keep I'm just using this as a guide. Yeah, keeping this. And then this part can be used as a flap or whatever, you know, a tiny inside of a tiny journal. But if I did just this, I wouldn't be able to do much with it. So it's best to just take it from the bottom, and that way you have these lines in case you want to make a small, you know, small journal or flip or something like that, you know. All right, so we have that. We are going to flip this way though. Should I? No, let me keep it consistent, then I can change it up once I'm assembling. Okay, so we have that, we have that, we have this. The next is this. After that is this, and it will be, it needs to be, this is going the long way. It's going to be the thinner page. And I think what I want to do is I want to keep the top. So I'm going to cut the bottom, tear the bottom portion off where the numbers are at. Because again, it just keeps with consistency. Let me just fold this one and use this one as a guide. I'm gonna make this actually a little bit smaller. Oh, gracious. Okay. Like that. All right. So now we have this one. I'll turn this way. Tuck that inside. This goes like this. Is that it? Yeah. So that's that. So these are the 3 preliminary signatures, okay? Now, my next thing I want to do, I'm not going to bind these just yet because obviously I'm going to want pockets. And that's the reason why I used this type of paper on the outside, because it's a thicker paper. Also because it has this here stuff on it. And so if I create pockets here, like so, then it's going to cover up the writing on here. With no issue. So that was just me being strategic, you know. I'm gonna use the paper. I'm going to use the paper. These are my scraps. It's not a lot, but they can be used for clusters, tuck spots, and pockets. And so this is the paper that I was saying that I could use for the pockets, and then brighten it up with, you know, some clusters or whatever have you. So that is where we're going to stop right here. And in the next video, we'll probably work on, I think I want to work on making some, actually I'm going to go ahead and make some clusters from this and whatever I've got in the, who knows? Just stay tuned. I'm either going to work on pockets and tucks, or I'm going to work on pockets and tucks, because I'm going to need paper for that, and whatever paper I use, whatever scraps that are left over from those pages, I'm going to need to use for clusters and other types of embellishments. So I typically save the small pieces to the end, because that way I can use up all of the scraps, whatever I'm going to use, and then when I'm done with that, I can just scrap the rest of the tiny pieces that is left over. Furthermore, I need to make sure that I have pockets and tucks in here so that I'll know how thick this is going to need to be when I go cut it down. So it's going to be a couple more steps before I am able to actually bind these signatures together, and I would need to do that before I create the cover, because I'll need to know how thick the cover spine would need to be, I think. Okay. Anyways, guys, thanks so much for hanging out with me. If you're new to the channel and you have not already clicked that subscribe button and you're still here, that means you like this video. So go ahead and give it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button along with the notification bell, because you're going to want to come back and you don't want to miss the upcoming videos. You don't. This was the most boring of them, all of the ones that's going to come. You know, I mean, paper. It's just me tearing paper and running my mouth. But it gets better from here. Okay? So stay tuned. And for those who are just, part of the family, thanks so much for coming back, for sharing, for commenting, for liking, and for all of your encouraging feedback. I truly do appreciate it, y'all. Now, what I'm getting ready to do is turn this camera off. Okay? Get myself some breakfast, look at my planner, and check and see who's next up on the meeting schedule, and get my life together so that I can come back here later on this afternoon and play around with my jelly plate. Okay? Go ahead. Go jelly plate. Go jelly plate. And until we're back here together on YouTube, guys, stay encouraged, stay blessed, stay creative and crafty. Bye for now. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Hit subscribe to join the crafty community, and be sure to click the bell for notifications of new uploads. Thank you so much for watching. Now stay tuned for more from Livie'S Lovelies, your inspirational craft channel. Bye for now.